Welcome, guys, to We Don't Know Ball podcast. Special guest this week of Gunnartherunner. Um, soon in the future, he might just be our third podcast member.
Okay, bro.
Fuck you.
Yeah. WDKB session. Can continue.
Gunnar, how are you doing today, brother?
Doing good. Jules came up earlier today on my podcast, The Post Patrol. We stream every Monday on Twitch at 8 p.m. Eastern Time and upload it onto my YouTube channel. So
please go sub and follow him. He does great content, obviously, by the jersey that he does, that he is wearing. He is all Celtics stuff, and we all hate the Celtics around here. Anyways, so this week we're doing our basketball episode, and Justin, Retro, and myself, we talking about a little bit of this past week, along with some narratives that have happened actually today. But before we get into that, Justin and Retro, how are you guys doing?
I'm living life. It's good. I'm definitely ready to get into it. Happy to have Gunnar on the pod, as you pointed out. One of the better personalities for sure that I've talked to. Really nice guy. So super happy to have him. Happy to be back as the main star of the show. Happy to be here with my fellow co-hosts.
Oh my god, that's crazy. Okay, Molly.
Main star?
Yeah, I didn't know Molly was the main star.
Main star.
I said what I said. Continue.
Buddy, you are the Udonis Haslam to the LeBron, D. Wade, and Chris Bosh.
What do you mean? You called me the glue guy, veteran presence in the locker room. I understand what you're saying.
And the guy that only shows up once every month and a half. Got it. Yeah, I believe since Thanksgiving, Gunnar may have been on more basketball episodes than you.
Okay, bro, holy yap. Get to your point.
No,
Justin, what's up, bro?
I've been great. I'll be honest with you, I'm glad Indiana won, but I really wanted the narratives of the whole I know it's a basketball podcast, but I really wanted the narratives of Miami winning and Carson Beck ruining an NFL franchise on a reach pick. But no. As far as basketball goes, well, I'm a Suns fan, so I'm just going to continue to ride the roller coaster of my team. Because, boy, are they really roller coastery as a team now. And
are they more roller coastery than the mid Chicago Bulls? Thoughts?
No, because a roller coaster goes up and down, and the Bulls are like a sewer hole that you accidentally step in.
Good for you. UVA basketball is number 14 in the country, and we're 16-2. So
again, I'll tell you what I told you. I'll tell you exactly what I told you about football. What you do in college does not fucking matter when you get to the pros.
College is better than professional, so you can
I'm just saying it's just a straight line.
Hold on. I want to be clear on this, Retro. If college is better than the pros, right?
Yeah.
Why in college, when you're unhappy, you can just pick to go somewhere else?
Well,
I didn't realize that being a child and bitching and moaning is how you get through playing sports.
Transfer people can, okay?
Oh, yeah, and guess what? Anyone can transfer at any time if somebody opens the door.
To you? What is free agency to you? What is free agency?
People that are locked into a set timed contract play their contract out.
Have you ever heard of an NIL contract?
Have you ever heard of... When
quarterback?
you get a scholarship to a university that is committing to play all 4 years at the university.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
Oh, my goodness.
You two are both ugly. Can we move on, please?
Yes, sir.
Says the guy wearing a Pistons jersey over a Lakers hoodie, being a Spurs fan. Who the fuck are you talking to?
I mean, for the guy who claims he's a Suns fan who doesn't like to talk about his team, I think that's pretty fraudulent, don't you think?
Nope, not talking about it has nothing to do with my allegiance.
I think it does.
I think it does.
To be fair, the Seahawks are literally just the Suns equivalent. You guys don't talk about your team until eventually they win.
Your whole fan base didn't want to talk about your team because they're overproducing.
Let's stop the rage bait and let's actually
get into some bad when Western and I are on the same side of things.
No. Let's talk about what just came out today, this morning. All-Star Game starters. So the allotted teams, or at least the starters for both the East and the West, quote unquote. And why I put that is because a lot of people know the format is Team USA versus Team World. But in a traditional format, this is how it would be. We'll start in the East.
Let's not.
Brunson.
Let's just start around.
Let's
not
absolutely
dance around
start.
the room.
Let's
Let's not dance
no,
around the elephant in the
no,
room.
no. The elephant in the room.
Let's talk about the biggest snub.
Yes, one of the biggest snubs. Why Donovan Mitchell's not starting?
No, the West is the snub.
No, Tyrese Maxey has no argument over Donovan Mitchell this year. None.
Debatable.
I mean, want to talk about the efficiency gap, because Tyrese Maxey's efficiency is kind of dog shit, and he's a second fiddle to Joel Embiid. Who's Donovan Mitchell second fiddle to on that team?
At least Tyrese Maxey's healthy enough to play every game and doesn't need fraudulent rest days to sit out.
That's completely fair, but at least, when Donovan Mitchell's in, he's actually producing and not giving you 15 points on 5 of 25 shooting.
Well, it's not his fault that his coach changed up his entire offensive scheme because some fraudulent African center came back healthy.
Be better, dude. You're 6'2". You're a dynamic guard.
Better is crazy.
No, you're a 6'2" guard who's supposed to be the leader of the Philadelphia 76ers, and you're letting a injury-prone former MVP get more shots than you when his knees are inept. So that's on him. He needs to be better. Donovan Mitchell isn't getting his chain taken by a former MVP.
They are way more comparable than the other two. That's all I'm saying. Maxey and Mitchell's production this year versus Steph Curry and Anthony Edwards is a completely different gap that needs to be talked about. Steph is there based on past accolades and past recollection. You want to talk about inefficiency, Jules? You are the biggest criticizer for Steph Curry being certified dog shit in the first 3 quarters of a game. I don't want to hear it. If you think that Donovan Mitchell not being there over Tyrese Maxey is a bigger snub than Anthony Edwards getting replaced by Steph Curry, we got bigger fish to fry.
No. I think in the East, it should have been specifically Donovan Mitchell. Brunson, I think, is fair. Giannis is fair. I'll even grant you Jaylen Brown is the Jaylen Brown hater on this. That's completely fine. Tyrese Maxey should have been a reserve, and we need to start talking about how fan voting is completely fucking over a lot of these players.
The thing is, D-Mitch, look, you can make the argument over Brunson. Like, there's no way D-Mitch doesn't make this team. You could make the argument over 2 people on the starters. Like, I think it's kind of crazy that Mitchell doesn't get a spot here. With Ant, it's like, probably the only person you could argue out of a spot there is Curry, which I get. Ant should be in over Curry, but Donovan Mitchell should be over at least 2 people.
So to be clear about this, everybody's mad for the Steph over Ant stuff. That's completely fine. The person that put him off is Victor Wembanyama. They both had the same amount of coaches vote, but because there was 5,000, I believe it was 5,000 or 50,000 more people voting for Victor Wembanyama, he was the reason why Anthony Edwards did not start. So by just voting, the fan voting, you would have to then make the argument Ant over Victor, which is a closer argument between the two, between Steph and him.
And see that's the problem with voting. The fan voting is so dumb. Wemby should be on that team. So should Ant. Steph should not be. I feel like it's pretty clear that that's the way it should be. So it's like, I don't know. And this is the thing. This is why nobody cares about the All-Star game anymore. People used to watch the All-Star game. It used to be a really fun event to watch. No one cares anymore. No one cares.
Well, so in a traditional, and Gunnar, because we didn't talk about this before, in a traditional setting in terms of all-star voting, there's a guy who landed 5th in voting in the West that there's a lot of people who have feelings about, but I included. But if this was a traditional setting, do you think that Denny Avdija would be a all-star game starter if this was a traditional format?
Potentially, I don't think it would be though. Like if we're talking full on traditional, I don't think so. But I can see the arguments people are making for Denny. I'm one of the guys that was arguing and putting Denny in these votes because I thought he's a deserving All-Star this year. So I can understand and see him being an All-Star starter, but I wouldn't have him there personally.
No, that's completely fine because again, I have the voting up. SGA and Luca would be your 1 and 2. Wemby and Jokic would be your 4 and 5, and the leading forward getter in the West is Denny
Would be
Advia.
Denny, yeah. And I'm for it. For
and
sure.
I think, and that's completely fine, but I do have feelings about Denny because of I do think somewhat of the inflation and like the half court stuff with him. But a big reason why he got this push was international play. There's an argument for him, I think, to be a part of the starting five for the team world in this stuff. So it's like, I guess the question is for All-Star Game format, does Denny Advia have an argument to be in the starting five with now said format of Team World? Justin, what do you think?
Of the world?
Yeah.
No.
Who do you think is over?
The issue with it is with the whole world thing is they do US versus world, not North America versus world. So I think that the way it is perceived, I think, is wrong on the league's end. It should be North America versus world. I think it should be a US Canada hybrid because of how many stars we have out of Canada that are actually blown up. But when you look at it, I mean, if you go world, I mean, you're going to go SGA, Luka, Giannis, Jokic. Like, there's so many otherworldly talents. Like, I completely agree. Denny Advia in a traditional setting based on voting deserves to be in. You took 5th in voting. Like, you deserve to be there. But like when it comes to a world setting, like for me personally, it's not how it would go.
Yeah, I wouldn't put Advia as a starting forward for the Team World lineup either.
He would definitely be like a 6th man or like right off the bench, but like I just don't.
Well, for me, I think the forwards would be Giannis and Markkanen. That's what I would choose. Those would be my forwards.
Well, here's the thing. It's like, as crazy as it sounds, it's like I'm not trying to glaze my own guy here, but like you said, Giannis, Markkanen, Dylan Brooks, like there's so many guys like in that fit that forward role that might be power forwards as well that are like small forward, power forward hybrid or power forward center hybrid that still fit that forward role. So it's like it's so hard, and I think it's just because Markkanen plays on a small market team in a small setting, and no one really pays them any attention. Like, he's just starting to get the traction he deserves. I think for the last 2 years, I think Advia should have had more traction. But it's doing it this way with a world setting, like, this is going to be an all-out embarrassment for the U.S. Like, the world is going to put belt to ass.
If you look at this team, and let's say that you play Wemby at the 4, right? You would have your starting guards would be Shea and Luka. Your 3 and 4 are going to be Giannis and Wemby, and your 5 is Jokic. That's literally just the 5 best players in the league. So you just lose. There's nothing you can do about that.
Well, in the same thing, because you're talking about format, and I was talking to Gunnar about this. So Gunnar, you can start this off. First year in, I think it was almost 20, that our favorite second best player of all time, second greatest player of all time, is not going to be an All-Star Game starter. And he is literally on the cusp we're talking about from fan votes of literally not getting in. I'm in the belief that the coaches will get him in. I think there's just no way that they don't. But the only, and where me and Gunnar were talking about this is that because it's supposed to be 3 teams, it's 1 Team World and 2 Team USAs. Literally, if this was any other format, LeBron James wouldn't be an All-Star. because
Nope.
now you have 24 guys who are going to be all-stars from Team USA and 12 guys who are Team World. So LeBron, the only argument that LeBron gets in to be an all-star is literally this year and no other else. So the question is, again, Gunnar, if you want to start, is LeBron James deserving to be an all-star this year?
So I think it's interesting. As of right now, he's rapidly picked up his play style and how he normally is, but it's because of Austin Reeves being out and Luka don't want to say load managing, but taking rest here and there off of games himself. So we're seeing the old LeBron yet again because of all this stuff that's going on within the Lakers as itself. My thing is, I don't think he should be an all-star myself this year, because of the missed time at the beginning of the year. And at the start it was shaky, but it's because he's quote unquote shaking rust off and being able to get back to a third or second option type of player. I, however, have thought LeBron's the third option of this team. If anyone deserves it over him, it's Austin Reeves, but Austin Reeves has been injured.
Justin?
So,
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, you guys know how much that I've hyped up AR since last year when he was the number one option. In games where both Luka and LeBron were out, and everyone wants to say, "Oh, well, it's garbage time. He has to do this. He has to do that." I don't think you understand when you have two superstars, quote unquote superstars, because LeBron's not a superstar anymore. Name value, sure. Play, no. But last year, when you have to go out there and all the pressure is expected to fall on you to do your job, and you go out there and you do your job, like, he's only gotten better and better as things have went forward, and this injury is a huge setback for his career, and I hope he can just come through on the other side. But I completely agree with Gunnar. If LeBron is in that conversation, then AR should definitely have his name above it. But I think what we're going to see is the Michael Jordan Award, is where you just get handed an all-star spot because of what you've done in the past, not because of what you're doing right now.
Retro?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the Austin Reeves thing. But like you said, as far as like the injury is concerned, what the projections are right now is that he'll make it, and then to me, it's would you prefer him or these three guys that are listed on the bubble? They have James Harden on the bubble, Jamal Murray on the bubble, and Zion Williamson on the bubble. Now, the question is, would you take LeBron over any of those three, Harden, Murray, or Zion? I think there's probably an argument. I think honestly for any of the three,
I think he's over one of those guys.
yeah, same.
Yeah, because the thing is, when LeBron James is, like on the full team, he's the third option. Jamal Murray is always going to be the second option on the Nuggets, behind Jokic. Obviously, when Jokic is healthy, he will always be the second option. I mean, Zion, when he's healthy, is the first option. As far as James Harden, he's still an elite distributor. My thing is, I just don't think LeBron has an argument. I think that, like you said, he'll get it because he's LeBron, and he'll just get handed the All-Star thing. But I just don't think he has.
I do have a question, however, about this. So they're going about it as the U.S. versus the world, yet they still did the traditional voting style for player. Therefore, don't you feel that when it came down to it, it should have been vote your top 10 U.S. born, vote your top 10 foreign born? Don't you think that should have applied somewhere in this?
I think it's an interesting concept.
Completely separate. Why, Jules? Because here's the thing: you're going to see all of these. You're right, it's politics, but at the end of the day, if you're doing U.S. versus world, look at the votes. The top 10 is probably 80% world team.
Absolutely, but when it's politics and it's a ambassador sport, a global sport that is trying to go global, I do understand why. But then all these votes would then become more international stuff, which you want. But then politically, it becomes a disaster class that Adam Silver is already on the back end of of trying to expand into the EuroLeague that a lot of people are against. It becomes a completely and utter just shit show when it comes
You're
to
telling me
get your
that
team.
Americans aren't going to vote for the world team?
Yes, because of nationalism.
I disagree.
The Americans,
Yes.
anybody can vote for anybody. You could be somebody in Kazakhstan and you could still vote for players on the U.S. side and players on the world side. That's what I'm saying.
No, but hold on. It's even deeper than that. Shea, for example, is Canadian. Thunder fans are, I guarantee you, going to move en masse. I don't care if you're from the U.S. and go vote for him for Team World.
Correct.
Josh Giddey is an Australian.
It's about fan loyalists. They're going to vote their player into whatever they can. So Shea, like he said for the Thunder, is going to get voted by Thunder fans in America to the World Team. Denver fans are going to vote. So I don't understand why it wouldn't have been. You vote your players for the U.S. side and your players for the world side. If it's a global game, it's not going to matter.
What? So explain to me why Zaza Pachulia was top 8 in All-Star game voting a couple years ago. Do you think he's an All-Star?
No.
So, but that he got only specifically almost 80% of his votes came from his home country. Why is that? Because of nationalism, right?
But it's a global game.
Yeah, but
absolutely. But that comes then diluted to what the game is of us as a U.S. This becomes completely political, and that's something that Adam Silver does not want to do.
No, but Jules, you're taking Zaza Pachulia was voted because of his nationality by those people, right? But your argument is Americans won't vote because of their nationality. Those are two different things. Americans will vote for these world guys, but it's because they're fans of the player. Americans don't. I'm not
saying that. No. Here's the thing. There's no limit to voting right now. There's no limit to, you're in the continental U.S., so you're the only ones that can vote for players. This can happen with any player. It happened in the NHL a couple of years back with a guy called John Scott. The guy is a career fighter. He didn't put up points. He didn't score goals. He didn't do anything. He was an enforcer. And he got the most votes for the entire All-Star weekend, and it's when they switched to the 3-on-3 format. You want a goon who doesn't puck handle, doesn't score, doesn't anything, playing in a 3-on-3 format? But no, they brought it all around him because he was voted in not only by his home country, by NHL fans, by fans of the NHL video game franchise. It became a meme, and they turned the whole weekend into it. But that's how it's going to be. I'm saying on a voting aspect of U.S. versus world, you're not voting for the top 20 players anymore. You're voting for 13 and 13. 13 U.S.-born players and 13 world players. If I'm casting a vote, I'm still going to vote for Shea to play on the world team. I'm still going to vote for. There's going to be outlier players that make it in there. You're going to have guys from miscellaneous countries that make it in as a bottom tier guy on that team. But at the end of the day, it's a world vote anyway. Anybody anywhere can vote. So if the world decided to pick, any player from the Bulls, because they all suck. They all decided to vote for one player on the Bulls and made him a top 5 vote getter. He'd get in.
Hold on, real quick. So just to finish my point. Also, Josh Giddey's better than most players on our team, but just besides that point,
not even close. But okay.
To be clear, as far as Pachulia is concerned, right? Yes, Pachulia is going to get voted because of nationalism, because he's from Georgia, and no Georgian is ever going to make it big in basketball. It's very, very, very rare. The difference is, in the United States doesn't need to play nationalism games because we are the country for basketball. We win gold after gold after gold after gold after gold. Everybody knows that we have all the good basketball players. The U.S. doesn't need to play country politics when it comes to yeah, but my point is, there's no need for us to do that. So what U.S. fans will do is, instead of looking at a player's country, they'll look at the player. And they'll be like, listen, I'm a Thunder fan. Shea is my guy. I'm going out there. I'm going to go ride for Shea. Jokic fans will do the same thing with him. That's the way that it's going to work, because Americans don't need to play that kind of national.
There's also going to be Portland fans and foreign fans of Denny Advia that vote him into the world side. So it's like, I don't understand. That's why I just don't get this. You're voting your top collective 20 or whatever, but like, what happens when the votes are finalized and it's 14 world players and 6 Americans? That's kind of what I'm trying to get at. You should have voted world selections and you should have voted U.S. selections to actually see where we're at, because now we're going to be dwindling
still diluted.
You're
been
going
still
down
diluted.
the guys in the 30th percentile for voting tier that are going to make the bottom of the U.S. team. It doesn't matter.
It's still diluted because what is going to happen now is because there's not enough USA players who got the votes. They're going to have to vote, get the coaches vote to see who is going to make in the final spots, and that's where the value of the coaches vote in, and why fan vote again with the argument doesn't matter. That's why this whole thing doesn't matter.
This whole weekend is a fan event. That's what it is.
And no one watches it because it's a shit product.
I mean, go ahead.
I don't understand the argument here.
No, you're good. Go ahead, bro.
My whole thing is I said it earlier today. I think that the fan votes itself are fine. I think they need to lessen the value of the fan vote.
Yes.
Myself.
Yes.
I mean, we saw Andrew Wiggins as an all-star starter who didn't even deserve that start.
Yep.
Arguably should have been an all-star, but I wouldn't say so.
And 35% of that vote came from China.
Something like that, yeah.
Right, but that's what I'm saying, though. Gunnar, I don't mean to cut you off, but that's the thing. You can say it's diluted by world population. At the same time, Steph Curry is an all-star game starter at 37, playing arguably his worst season as a player. You can't tell me that's not diluted because of Steph's past and all the kids that he influenced growing up. These kids that didn't have the power to do anything before now know how to access. So it's all diluted. Everything is diluted about fan vote. It doesn't have to just be about nationality. It could be about how many shoes you sell, what team you play for, that's what it is. Yes. It doesn't matter if you want to make it a nationality thing. All fan vote is always going to be diluted no matter what, and they're never going to change it because All-Star Game is a fan-based media frenzy to bring attention to the game. So yes, basketball fans don't watch it, but casuals tune into it. Guys that don't watch basketball tune into it. So it's like, I understand the frustration behind it as an actual basketball fan, but you have to understand it's not basketball for the sake of basketball. They're not playing for anything that matters anymore.
No, but okay, this is the biggest issue.
It's a bigger joke than the Pro Bowl.
No, yeah, but this is the biggest issue. A world versus US, no one cares about. No one wants to see that. What people want to see is what we've been asking for. We want 1v1 tournaments. We want 3v3 tournaments. We want specific things that are interesting. That are going to get people talking about the game. No one wants to go see a bunch of great players play a bunch of great players in a no-nothing game where there's no defense and people score 200. What they want to see is they want to see LeBron and Kawhi in a 1v1. They want to go see the best players go against the other best players. 3v3 is going to be fun. That is what fans have been asking for years now. I think 1v1 is the biggest thing I've seen, but just anything interesting, something outside.
I think the thing that would make this really interesting. I think the thing that would make this really interesting is if Retro wants to go on the aspect that he's going with the 3-on-3 tournament or the 1v1s. The 1v1 should be an automatic, and if you are elected, you should be forced to participate as part of your not just your team, but your brand deals, your this, your that. If you're going to do a 3-on-3, if you're going to do a 3-on-3 tournament, top 6 or top 8 vote getters are captains.
Sure.
The rest of the votes outside of that do not fucking matter, and those captains can pick any 2 to 3 players if you want to have a 3-on-3 with a sub. Any 2 to 3 players in the league. So you can see a Luka Doncic go out and pick. Oh well. This guy's playing well, but he didn't get the votes. Luka could go out and pick Karl Anthony Towns and Austin Reeves. Or you could see Giannis saying, fuck it, I'm going to ride with my boys. And you see Ryan Rollins and Bobby Portis. That would make shit interesting.
And as an add-on, I think something else they need to do. The NBA needs to stop being cheap. What there should be for these tournaments, 1v1 tournament, $5 million grand prize. 3v3
That's
tournament,
a lot of money. I'll say $1 million.
You need to put money on the line. There has to be a reason for these players to care. For example,
make it actually competitive.
Cup, they gave people a reason to care about the NBA Cup because there was money on the line.
Can I raise you one, Retro, since it's supposed to be a fan interaction and this, that, and the other?
Sure.
They should play for, and we've seen it kind of in other sports minimally, they should be playing for a sizable, monetary value, like you said. But I think that a percentage of that goes to, say Steph Curry has a big fan who is super tied into like cancer with like Children's Hospital. So I think that part of that money should be like 200. If they play for $1 million, each player on the team gets $1 million. 250,000 of that gets donated to that charity of that player. Like every player has a kid attached to them with a cause that the player gets to pick, and that they donate money. If you're gonna make it a fan event, make it actually about the fans.
Yeah, give the player and the fans a reason to care. That's all we want.
Yeah, no, I'm in agreement with that. I want All-Star game, the All-Star break to be actually meaningful and having something so that as the basketball lover, to where it's like, oh, this is rather interesting, and the fact that there is, incentives behind this kind of stuff, so these guys can start giving a shit, because now that they took the incentives away, because and Gunnar, please correct me if I'm wrong, because I feel like you know this. They used to have whoever won the All-Star game, their respective conference, got home court.
Home court advantage in the finals,
Used to be,
Yeah. And I don't understand why they took that away, because they just, I don't know. I think they might have taken that away from baseball, but I know that was a thing for a long time.
Baseball still has it.
Nope, they do. Yep.
So it's like I want to get 4 games.
Another thing, I'm raising the stakes again on this. 3-point contest and dunk contest. 3-point contest should be the top 8 percentage shooters on a minimum taken shots, not voted in. Dunk contest. Dunk contest should be the top 5 players with the most, and we want to make it fan-based, right? We want to make it fan-based. Yeah. The top 5 most highlight reel moments, most views, likes, everything across all platforms. You want to make it something entertaining and fan-based that people want to watch. Let me see the most athletic motherfucker go punch. Make Ant go get in the dunk contest. Make Amen go get in the dunk contest. Make LeBron be in the dunk contest.
And also,
force these guys we want to see go and do crazy shit. And if they don't want to do crazy shit, I think, honestly, let's go get the professional dunker scene involved. Go get Jordan Kilganon to come in and dunk and show these NBA players what crazy dunks look like.
And to be clear, for the dunk contest, we have one permanent spot for Mac McClung.
Mac McClung is now vetoed because he's not on an NBA team. I'm actually sick of it.
No, dude, he's so good at dunking. You have to keep him in there. Like you said, if we're going to go out to the pro scene, we're going to go get a Globetrotter or something. That's fine.
And on top of that, I would also like to raise the stakes one more time. Get me fucking people who know how to judge dunks. No more celebrities. No more nothing. If you want to make it a fan experience, honest to God, you want to make some money off it, sell a sweepstakes that you get a fan to go and judge the dunk contest.
Yeah,
that would be kind of funny.
But that's the thing, like you said, it just goes back to the point where no one cares anymore. It used to be that people did, and like you said, Justin, you brought the Pro Bowl. That's another example. People used to care about the Pro Bowl. You used to see people doing huge
7-on-7 flag football. Let them go crazy. I want to see it.
And my thing is this, right? As much as we all crap on the NBA Cup because it doesn't really mean anything in the grand scheme of things, the players do play harder in the NBA Cup because there is money on the line, and the vets aren't doing it for the money for themselves. They don't care. But it's for their younger teammates that don't have that money yet. And they play harder because they want to get their teammates that money. And it helps. So you give us interesting events, put money on the line. I guarantee you All-Star. I'll tell you right now.
The only part of All-Star Weekend that's actually worth watching to me is watching the Rising Stars game.
You're right.
I love the Rising Stars game, but even that I have holes with. Rising Stars should not just be first and second year players. I also think that these are guys that should be in the most improved candidacy. I think we should see guys who, if you're a rising star, if you're in your 4th or 5th year and you're just starting to figure it out and you're a fringe star, number 2 option, this, that, and the other, I think you should actually be allowed to play in this game as well.
Sure, yeah, I have no problem with that. But my final thing is just NBA. I guarantee you, if you had a 1v1 tournament, you're going to see 1 million plus new viewers for the All-Star game.
At least.
And I'll even put it into this context, right? Imagine, okay, everyone's talking about Jokic and Wemby. Let's settle it in a 1v1. Jokic versus Wembanyama on the court. You could have so many fun 1v1s. You could do Shea and Luka. You could have, whatever type of thing you want to.
Fun.
And, dude, if we had it before, You could have done like LeBron and Kawhi, both in their primes. Like, it could have been some really, really fun matchups to watch. And now we have the opportunity to do that. We should do it. I don't know why the NBA hasn't. This is clearly a moneymaker.
I also want a 1v1 bracket to settle in league beefs. Like, let me get Dylan Brooks against somebody.
Yes. Dylan Brooks against LeBron, bro. Put him up against LeBron. He wants to talk about
Jimmy Butler versus anybody he's ever tried to square up against.
Beef
we go Jimmy and
versus
Draymond.
LeBron.
Jimmy and Draymond, who's the bigger dog?
Can you imagine a bracket of LeBron James, Beef Stew, and Dylan Brooks in a rollout one-on-one game to 7?
That'd be interesting as fuck.
Give me a Draymond and Victor Wembanyama 1v1 at that point. While we're at it.
No.
Jokic, Markieff Morris, come on.
There you go.
Yeah, like I said, we're giving you the gold, NBA. KD, if you're listening, just make sure you share this to some executive.
Yeah, we're not even copywriting this. We're not even patenting the IP. This is all
also,
you
KD, if you can hear me, I love you to death, but you also just don't belong on the U.S. team this year. You're going to get in on votes, and I don't like it.
So, the first team that I wanted to go on, and I promise you this is not bias whatsoever, is the bald boys that after a bad loss against the defending champions, the next day Victor Wembanyama and Keldon Johnson decide to shave their hair, and since then Wemby has been putting belt to ass to every single team he has played. Mind you, in one of these games, who I think is going to be game of the year up to this point, is Minnesota and San Antonio, I believe, this past Saturday. San Antonio blew a 20-point lead in the fourth, but they ended up still winning. Anthony Edwards, double nickel, 55 points, putting up his best Michael Jordan impression. So my thing is this a playoff matchup? Do we think that Minnesota and San Antonio is a smaller rivalry because we have two players who are arguing to be top 5 with their respective franchises, and they both have these mentalities of high ceilings, both offensively and defensively. Do we want to see this a 7-game series at all?
No. I kind of wish, but
it won't go 7 games.
Yeah, I was gonna say the problem is yes, Ant is fantastic, absolutely. The other issue is it's okay, you've got Dante DiVincenzo, that's great, and Julius Randle's great, and I guess Jaden McDaniels is okay. Naz Reid is solid. Whereas on the Spurs, I mean, you look at this starting lineup. You've got Area 51 going on. You have De'Aaron Fox. You've got Harrison Barnes. You've got Champagne. You've got Keldon Johnson. You have Harper, Cornette. I mean, Carter Bryant for the defense. The roster is so deep on the Spurs. I don't think this series goes 7 games. Jules, I understand what you're getting at for sure. I think it's really cool to see what Ant is doing. The only problem is I just feel like it turns into Ant and Julius Randle trying their best to hard carry against a much deeper Spurs roster, and I just don't think it works. Especially with Victor Wembanyama apparently turning into Steph Curry recently. I don't know. I just can't see it. I can't see it going 7. I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be a really entertaining 5-game series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Spurs threats are the Nuggets and the Thunder. That's the Spurs threats.
And
5-game series is crazy.
I think it goes 7. I'm just saying.
In 5 games.
I say it goes 6. I don't think it goes 7.
I think it goes 7.
Also, to be clear, there's no and. No, your Suns are not competing with the Spurs in a 7-game series. No.
No. We're the most dangerous team to play in a 7-game series.
Yeah, you got it, buddy. No shot.
I wasn't the one that put this into the universe. Good try, though.
It wasn't me.
I know it wasn't you.
Why I disagree, because I watch San Antonio every day. Stephon Castle has hit some type of wall to where he only likes turnovers now. I don't know,
Yeah.
He's a high turnover prone guard who doesn't have a legitimate jump shot. So he gets to a rim at a high rate, but he relies on free throws and getting to the line way too much for my liking.
To be honest.
I mean, if I want another foul baiting guy, sure, I would love Giannis for sure. Then we go to like De'Aaron Fox, and he's been offensively inconsistent. Like he had a good game today, but there's times where he's going 5 of 18 from the field, 3 of 12. Like I think I was talking about Minnesota being fraudulent, and I'm still somewhat there because they're way better at home games than they are at away games. I believe away they're like 12-10, maybe 12-11 now. And Gunnar and I were talking about this. Is that coaching wise, Chris Finch sucks.
Yep.
Like has been awful.
12-10 on the road.
Yeah. Like it's completely night and day with them. I think for Minnesota, I think this is 7 games because if they just start to zone against San Antonio and have Rudy not guard Wemby and Wemby isn't shooting the threes, there's not enough guard downhill play to go and say, yeah, let's just go at Rudy Gobert. I just don't believe that.
I think that it is somewhat of a logistical nightmare because it's like Rudy Gobert is such a good rim protector that Wemby's going to kind of have a hard time working down there. And if you have people guarding him on the perimeter, it could be a little difficult. I still think Wemby gets, around that. I think De'Aaron Fox is a very good scorer. Like you said, even with inconsistencies, he's still a fantastic scorer. And I don't really think I just don't think that all in all with the Spurs roster, I think they're too deep, and I also think they're just too well coached, just a really good team. Like they play well, and I think that what would happen is maybe they catch a game, like they catch the Spurs off guard a little bit early, but I feel like the Spurs adjust very quickly to that. And so maybe they catch a game and then the Spurs win 2, and then they catch another one and then the Spurs finish it out. But I can't see it going 7. I just don't think it goes all the way.
So my whole thing with this is I think it does go 7. I actually gave the edge to Minnesota earlier today. The only issues I have with Minnesota in this is, like Jules said, Chris Finch. I think their assistant coach, Noir,
I forget his last name too, but I know he filled in for Chris Finch when he had that tech and got ejected.
Yeah, and I was talking to Mismatch about this, as he's the Wolves fan, for my go-to stuff, on the Wolves. He agrees. He's done with Chris Finch. He wants him, and from what I've seen out of him as the assistant coach, he's an actual guy who can step in as this main head coach guy and be able to play chess matches with a guy like David Edelman, like a guy in Joe Mazzulla, and so on and so forth. I think it'd be a chess match if he's the head coach. And my only other issue with Minnesota would be their point guard situation. And that's, if they do get a point guard, I think it help relieve Anthony Edwards from primary ball handling duties in certain situations that could help this team beat a team like San Antonio and so on and so forth.
I think it's just a good matchup, personally. But to stay in the West a little bit, a team to actually surprisingly, I believe, has the best record through the last 10 games. And it's funny enough because they're just not great offensively or defensively. The Portland Trailblazers are now sitting at 500 and are at the 10th seed in the West. Actually, I think they might be a 9th seed.
They're in the 9th seed.
I think they're 9th seed.
22 and 22. Them and the Clippers are tied for 8 and 2 in their last 10.
Welcome to
Um,
Bulls, by the way. That's
uh,
welcome to Bulls land, bro.
I am Bulls land is crazy.
Yeah,
There's
that's where
one
they're at.
Miami Bulls.
Where I think this Trailblazers team is so like interesting on paper, because they just have like they have like defensive depth, right? Kamara, Matisse Thybulle, you still have Drew Holiday, you got Robert Williams, Time Lord. I mean, I know Gunnery,
Yep.
obviously. Chris Murray is great. Klingon is good. It's now where I don't like I said, I did have them as a playing team for this year, and I think they're making great strides. My thing is, can this team next year? Because I like, even if they make the playoffs this year, like they're probably a 7th or an 8th seed, and I think they're just getting belted by OKC and whoever ends up as a 2 seed, regardless of San Antonio, Denver, or even Minnesota. I just don't think they match up well. But if they get Damian Lillard back and they get another like stretch forward to go with Klingon, who is already shooting for his standards in his second year volume threes, is this like a good workings? Are they like a coach away to be a legitimate contender in the West?
No, not a legitimate contender. No. The West is too loaded, bro. There's too many good teams.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's hard. I mean, you guys talked about it on a live last night about how I think we're due for an expansion because of how saturated the league is with talent and this, that, and the other. And from what we've seen, is the West is the side that's absolutely loaded with talent. So I would love to say so, but like even if they're all healthy and they get a coach, I think at best they're a 6 seed.
And I'm not in like disagreement with that. And Gunnar, I'll let you go. I love Tiago Splitter, but I just think that he just was forced a hand because of the Chauncey situation, and
Yeah,
I think he's been doing an okay job, but they need to find an identity. And again, no offense to Tiago, I think he's just been running a lot of 2014 Spurs basketball, a lot of the ball movement and that kind of stuff. But I just don't think that Tiago is the voice. There's other coaches that are out there.
Where's
Mark
Mike
Jackson,
Malone?
Mike Malone, to where this team is clearly wanting to be an offensive team. However, they have all these defensive forces, just like in OKC, to where I just rattled off 5 or 6 guys to where maybe they go and revolve around a Denny. Maybe they go and revolve around Sharp. Scoot hasn't even played a fucking game yet. Like, it's so interesting.
The thing that sucks with that, though, is, and being wholeheartedly honest, especially with it being Portland, as soon as this guy comes back, they're going to automatically say it's his team again because he's back at home. He's this, he's that. Like, Dame is their superstar. Like, it's going to revolve around him, and I think that's actually going to hurt the impact that this young team has.
That is my whole question with this team is, are they going to next year revolve it around Dame?
Yes.
Or are they actually going to let Denny keep the keys to the kingdom in Portland?
Let me put it to you this way, Gunner. When Kyrie comes back from injury, who's got the Kings to the Dallas Kingdom?
That's my question with Dallas as well.
Are
you still going to have
nobody looks to the future anymore. Everyone just wants to live off of what guys did in their past. Let the young guys have their day in the sun. Once you've done all you can do, be a role player, develop these guys, do the things that you're supposed to do as a veteran leader.
Because my thing with Portland is, like, I think Dame would fit well as a secondary option.
I agree.
But I think Denny would have to be your clear number one. And you revolve around and have these defensive keys that you already have in the Blazers. and use them to hide Denny and Dame. Yep.
You're going to see the most
Defensively,
high pick and fade offense in NBA history once Dame comes back with Denny Advia.
it'd be great. It's just you really have to build it around Denny, in my opinion.
I agree.
I would agree.
Like I said, I just don't. In my opinion, like when somebody like that goes down, I don't see it happening. Like Dame had the unfortunate circumstance of getting injured in Milwaukee and then traded back home, which is kind of what it felt like he wanted. But at the same time, it's like Dame was such a big part of that franchise for so long, and now that he's back, like I just don't see a coaching standpoint, especially if it still is Tiago Splitter, which would just be detrimental to that franchise, where Dame's back, we have our star back, Portland's going to be happy to have their star back. They're just going to... I don't want Denny to go by the wayside because he has been making the strides to show that he can be the certifiable number one. But it's the superstar effect of this guy was here for X amount of years and now he's back and he can still play. Like, I just don't want it to be like Denny's lost in the mix, and that's what I feel like is going to happen when Dame comes back.
I mean, like I said, you can make that argument for at the beginning of this year because prior to Drew Holiday being hurt, Drew Holiday was giving you, I believe it was like 19-7-4, like looking like Bucks Drew, not Celtics Drew. Sorry, Gunnar, but like
no,
he was
that's
looking like Bucks.
True though.
Yeah, he looked like Bucks Drew Holiday. So you can make that argument that okay, once Dame comes back, they're going to revolve it around him 110%. I just think this Trailblazers team deserves a little bit of love. And I think they're just a good coach away to be trending upwards, and they would need something to where there's a whole bunch of like off balls and making it more Denny, not Dame based. And I think there's some sentiment for that.
Trending upwards. Yeah, no, trending upwards I agree with. I just think it's like being a contender in the West is just like, it's just so hard. Like
I think they could be a 5 seed.
Maybe.
I think they could be.
No, because so this is my problem, right? If you're looking at the West, you have the Thunder, the Spurs, the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, the Rockets. That's a hard top 5 to break into. And then even outside of that, the Lakers and the Suns. So it's like, okay, the Trailblazers have to get past the Lakers. They've got to get past the Suns. And
They would battle with the Suns and Lakers. They would be in that. They would
That's
be
the
in
thing,
that.
Yeah.
They would be. They would be how football would describe it as a team in the hunt. That's what it would be.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically how I see it. Because it's like, a great coach can do a lot, but they can't work miracles.
They can't put the ball in the hoop.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to be honest, they can work miracles. We're seeing a rookie, basically close to rookie head coach bring San Antonio to a 2 seed.
Yeah, but that team is like beautifully built. Like
it's not like loaded. Like I don't really know.
The only miracle working coach.
I'm saying Portland's loaded too. I think there's a lot of good pieces there.
There's a difference.
And
in
we're
loaded
talking next year, right?
Yeah, next year. Wait. Yeah, because
be a 5 seed.
Yeah, because KD would be 38. I'm not sold on Houston. LA is getting LeBron off, and that's going to be solely dependent on who they get in free agency. And this free agency class kind of sucks. I'm not moved on the Lakers. So the real conversation is 5th or 6th seed, like Gunnar and I have said, because if they're trending upwards, LA and Houston are trending downwards. Like Justin, I know you hate Kevin Durant, but by 38-year-old, well, in terms of what he's doing, I'm not trying to throw things out there. In terms of what he's doing, how he's looking, they're downwards. He's the only shot creator there.
I said a 6 seed. I said that would be their ceiling.
I'm saying I think there's strong considerations for that because if we put it into context, Houston specifically this year hasn't been looking great, and LA okay, cool, you got Luka. We don't know if they're going to trade AR. A lot of Lakers fans want to keep him, but for value to fit around Luka, there's a lot of value there. There's just a lot of questions between 5 and 6 to where, like you said, a 6 seed. I think that's fine. I think that could be within that range. And
Two
like
teams
your
are
team
moving
as
up.
well.
2 teams are moving up and 2 teams are moving down. It's just like,
Yeah, I think it's fine.
It's gonna be the 5 through 8. It's gonna be a battle, and if Portland can figure it out in 1 year, I mean, think about it. They got Drew Holiday back this year. They got Dame back, who's not probably playing this year. So it's your 2 new pieces that you have to build chemistry. You need a head coach. On top of that, it'll be a quote unquote rookie to their team head coach trying to figure. So there's a lot more negatives against them than there are positives. Like, that's just the issue.
Maybe I'm just looking at it glass half full. I just like where that team can go if there's a change of coaching and just looking at the conference in general. That's all I wanted to say. I shout out to the Trailblazers.
It also depends on the identity of that head coach. If he's a defense, like I said, we talked about Mike Malone. If it's a defensive first head coach, cool, they might tighten up the defense, but if their offense isn't sound, it doesn't fucking matter. If they go get an offensive first head coach and their defense starts to lapse, like, it's still not going to matter. They need a balanced head coach.
So with that, I do want to get to the East and kind of press the panic button on the New York Knicks.
Yep.
So Brunson,
Tyler Kolek?
we're moved on Tyler Korlek. Who we're not moved on is that offense since Brunson's been out. Within their past 10, they're 2-8. And Karl-Anthony Towns, Carl every other game Towns, more inconsistent than anything, has been not showing up defensively, but he'll give you, again, like a 21-13 game every other game. And they just, reading off some of their games, they lost against San Antonio, that's fine. But they lost by double digits against the Hawks. They lost by double digits against the Sixers. They lost by double digits against the Pistons. They beat the Clippers. Good for them. They lost a close game against y'all and Justin. They beat the Trailblazers. But they lost against the Kings. They lost against the Warriors. They lost against y'all again. They lost against the Mavs.
Lost against the Kings is an understatement.
They lost against the Mavs, where the Mavs were plus 12.5 in that game.
Yeah,
they gave up the largest first half deficit today.
And where our concern,
yes, 28 is their largest first half deficit.
Insane.
Where
of the season.
Where New York was sitting pretty a month ago. Now, like I said, Brunson being hurt, what the hell do they do? Like, is it time to press the Giannis button? Is it time to get Giannis? Is it time to go and sell your soul to what do the New York Knicks do if they can go and be the team out of the East this year? Retro, I'll start with you.
It's just, I don't know, man. The way that the Knicks are to me is it's just like every year it feels like they just kind of underachieve where they're supposed to be. I don't want to put all the blame on one individual, but bro, Jalen Brunson is so inefficient so much of the time. It's a real problem. Like against the Mavericks, he went 9 of 24. Like, I get that you want to put up shots. I get that you're the best player on your team and you want to be showing that consistently. My problem is you do have good players around you. You have Cat. You've got Hart. You've got Anunoby. You have Bridges. You have guys around you that can make plays. I just feel like 24 shots is just something we don't need to be seeing. And just again, since we're on the Mavericks game, you have Brunson with 24, you have Cat with 19, and then Bridges has 10 shots. Anunoby has 8. Josh Hart has 6. It just feels like people aren't being utilized as much as they should. I don't even really think that's necessarily a coaching problem. I think that's a team problem. I don't know if the team I don't know if the team is good revolving around Brunson, because it feels like Brunson makes it too much about himself than anybody else, and I feel like that might be one of their bigger problems.
So I'll before anyone else, I will slightly disagree with the efficiency argument. I think this is just an outlier game. Because as a point guard, he's been plus efficiency this whole year. In terms of him, like, I believe this was his first game back since his injury. So like, I'm not trying to make the excuse.
Second.
Okay, second game. It's where he has actually been working a lot off ball, because Mike Brown loves the motions and the off ball movement. Everybody gets a share. But Brunson is a ball dominant point guard that, wants to take the last shot and all this kind of stuff. The new king of New York. But my thing is, and it always has been, you can't run two guys who are that bad defensively at the same time. And you can coincide that by saying, okay, Brunson, you're a bad defender, but we have OG, we got Mitchell Robinson, we got McHale, so we can, help you out. But when you're damn near 7 foot, or maybe even 7'1", and Karl-Anthony Towns, who can't move his feet, that's a concern.
Well, and I hate to bring this up, but it is a comparison that people make all the time. I don't think Jalen Brunson's brand of basketball is as pertinent to winning as like a guy like Tyrese Halliburton. I much prefer a guard that is willing to be a pass-first guard and get the ball around to people and make things happen than a guy that just wants to take the last shot. I don't know. For me, I think that is just more. I think that does more. I think it's more conducive to winning. I don't know. I've never really liked Jalen Brunson that much of a player because of it. I get he's a great scorer. I think, like you said, he's weak on defense, and his scoring output is fine, but I don't know. I don't know if it's conducive.
Before we go down the panel, like, do you think they need a change?
The thing is, what change? I just don't know what change you could even make. I don't know. I mean, the lineup's fine. I like Brunson and Hart as the guards. I'm fine with that. I like Bridges and Anunoby as their forwards. Cool. I like Cat as their center. I really don't have that much of a problem with the lineup. I just think that it is a problem with getting the ball around to people and making people feel comfortable. I don't know. It feels like they're just not comfortable enough. That's how it feels to me.
Justin, how about you?
There is no player that helps this team right now. You can go out and trade for a star. They can make a move on Giannis. They can make a move on MPJ. They can make a move on any of these guys. Nothing is helping this team. We're watching a different style of New York basketball than we've seen the last couple of years, because even watching it right now, like, they're not in a 6-man rotation anymore. They play 10 to 11 guys a game. They're using their bench. They're doing this. So I don't know if they go back to the 6-man rotation when Brunson's back and just play their top 6 players and go to work that way, because it sure as hell worked last year. But I don't know. I mean, yeah, to come off an NBA Cup win and make the run they went on, like, this is a completely different team, and I think it's I don't know if there's anything that can happen. I mean, do they rely on other players to do the job? Do they start getting Anunoby more involved and let him get shots? Do they start using their 6th first-round draft pick trade player in Mikal Bridges more? Like, otherwise, what they're going to have to do if they want to do something like this, they're going to have to blow it up. And when I say blow it up, I mean, if you want to make a change, you keep Cat and you keep Brunson. Or you keep Brunson and you keep Anunoby. It's Brunson and one guy get kept. And then you go trade for 2 other players and you play with them. And you try and run a 3 superstar lineup and you go to work. That's what they have to do. That's the only way that they can do it. One player is not going to change the way that this team is playing right now.
Okay.
Yeah, that's so too.
Gunner.
So I'm in a full agreement. I don't think there's any trade you can make to make this Knicks team better. At least this season. One, you're gonna have to trade away. It's just gonna be hard to get players in a trade because they're over the second apron when it comes to the contract situation. A team has to match the salary basically perfectly in order to be able to get the player. So that's part of my issue. Two, I'm just not. Are they still in the NBA Cup hangover? And if so, this is the longest hangover we have seen from the NBA Cup.
Move.
Well, we've only seen 2 other NBA Cups, and both of those teams went on to do okay.
Oh yeah, this is why I'm gonna
First
say
round exits.
Yeah, they're gonna be first round exits. I'm standing by it. They won the cup. They're first round exits this year. Until I'm proven wrong. But also, what I'm seeing is they're heavily reliant on the wing defenders, which they have to be in OG, Hart, and Mikhail. The issue is, do you trust not having a rim protector in your starting lineup? I don't. I think Mitchell Robinson should be in that starting lineup myself because they need. Today, I saw they needed that inside presence in rim deterrence, and when he was on the floor, it looked good out of them in holding Najee Marshall a little bit when he was on the floor, where Cat couldn't, and he was making these floaters, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
without Brunson, they look like bootleg Toronto.
that's fair.
I disagree with that. I think they're worse. That's why I disagree.
I said bootleg Toronto.
Then they're the Brooklyn Nets.
No, because they just have
Jules?
MPJ. The Nets have so many holes right now, and it's just, hey MPJ, go score 30 and see if we can win. That's literally what the Nets are right now.
Fair. That's fair.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what everybody thought they were going to be, too. Go chuck up a bunch of shots and see what happens. You got to go.
Let's see what you can do as a number 1 option.
And yet the Nets are a better watch.
And now he's arguably, after going and being the number 1 option, probably the second most targeted player in the trade rumors of the deadline. Crazy.
Correct. Which is insane. One final team that I wanted to go over kind of quickly in the East is funny enough, your Chicago Bulls, Retro. This is not a shit on Retro segment. I swear to you, it's not. It's not. It's not.
We beat the Nets, okay? Get off.
Cool. Fantastic. I want to get, again, some credit for this. 2 things really quickly. Trey Jones is legit, and he's better than Giddey.
He's not better
absolutely.
Yeah, he
not
is.
even close. No.
But the more important thing that I want, Retro, I want you to know, because I actually had to unbearably watch Chicago Bulls so I can give you this information.
Sure.
The only good player that I think you guys have for your future, other than Buzelis, that kid Jalen Smith.
I don't hate that.
I think Jalen Smith is a really good 4-5 combo for you guys that has been on a tear the past 2 weeks in terms of being able to get these starts. I think Chicago, because he was rumored to get moved, but those quickly died down. I would like for Chicago for a competent step forward is I do think that Kobe White does get moved, but you revolve if you want, for your sake, if you want to revolve around Giddey, so be it. If you want to revolve around Buzelis, I'm more sold on that. but go get somebody to go help with Jalen Smith because he's jumped from team to team to team, and he's looked fantastic for Chicago. I would love to see him be a core piece. You're like your third guy if Kobe White does end up moving teams at the trade deadline. So Chicago, there's a lot of darkness ahead, but there might be some light with Giddey, Jalen Smith, and Buzelis. I'm hopefully Noah Senge comes back next year and gives you guys some type of light. What are your thoughts about that, Retro?
Yeah, well, no, I mean, I think he's very good too. I've got no problem with most of what you said. I think we're probably going to move Kobe White as well. I think Kobe White's great, but I just think that we could probably get some solid pieces for him.
Yeah.
I definitely think for our future, it's got to revolve around Buzelis. It's got to revolve around Giddey. Those are the two main pieces. I'm fine with Jalen Smith definitely being a part of that. I think that there's a couple guys I wouldn't mind moving. I wouldn't mind moving Okoro. I'll tell you that right now. I would not mind moving him. I'm cool getting him up out of here as fast as humanly possible. I wouldn't mind moving Trey Jones, but like I kind of like Trey Jones. Like he's cool. He's fine. I think he does good running our second unit. Like I'm cool with him being there. Him and Ao are a nice little combination off the bench. And so I'm kind of okay if we move Huerta a little bit. Mr. Kevin, I think he can go. Honestly, we don't really need him that much. I don't know. There are a few guys I'd be like, just we don't really need you guys for the vision that we're trying to make. I think the other thing, and this sucks because I hate to say this, he's probably been our best player this year. Vooch needs to go because he's too old. Like the biggest problem is we are very reliant on Vucevic, which typically is okay, but the problem is he's super old and we're building a young roster. So if your young roster is built on a vet guy and then that vet guy ages out, well, all of a sudden this young roster that developed around the vet guy doesn't know what to do. So the biggest thing is you need to get him out and you need to get somebody young that can replace him. If we were going to make any splash, I'd really want a young center. Like, I really, really want a young center. I don't know who it would be necessarily, because I know that, young centers aren't exactly a huge, commodity, but I would love to have one. Even in the draft, there's probably a couple guys you could look at. Dude, even somebody like Kalkbrenner would be very nice. Just somebody that can just like get the ball in the basket, easy baskets, and is a good rim protector. Like I would like that. We need to stop being so reliant on Vucevic. He's too old, and while he is great, it's not going to last. So I agree with you on the future pieces. It definitely needs to be modest. Josh Giddey. I'm fine with Jalen Smith being a part of that. The biggest thing for us, I think, is to move Vooch so that we have a young core, fully young core, and get a couple of the other guys I mentioned out of there and get some good pieces for him and get some good draft picks. I think that's what we need to do.
I'll play the nasty game. Why do you guys suck on the road?
Why do you think we suck?
You guys are the most. I think you guys might be the most homer team in the NBA.
It's probably true.
You guys just can't. Out of a team that's in their record area of below 500, they might be the most
like below 5. Yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just can't win on the road. And I don't know if it's a comfortability thing or whatnot, or if the United Center just has some sort of powers, and if so, can you give them to the Blackhawks? Because I'm sick of watching them lose. But, yeah, you guys struggle on the road. I'm going to continue to preach to you that your 5-0 is the most fraudulent 5-0 in history to start a year.
Yeah. Continue.
You were overhyped, over happy, over this, over that. We're a top seed. We can compete because Boston's hurt. And I told you, this team's going to finish 500.
Brother, you ironically think your team can go 7 games with the Spurs. You're more delusional than me, and that's saying something.
I didn't think it. There were multiple other people that said that my team is the most dangerous team to play in a 7-game series. But that's my brother. Me.
Yeah, the Thunder, the Nuggets, the Spurs, they all exist.
The guy that's running the show over here is the one that told me that my team might be the nastiest 7-game series team there is. So, if you want to have any of those arguments with anybody, you can direct it at one of the main guys that put it in my head.
Well, sure, That's fine, and we can disagree on that, but you're the one that's coming at my team, so I'm going to come directly back at
Whoa.
you.
That's fine.
Coming.
Your team is certified dog shit with a minimalistic future.
No, my team is speaking of future, my team has one of the brightest futures in the NBA. We have up and coming stars at almost every position.
Stars is a lukewarm term, but
your
okay.
team is entirely reliant on a Devin Booker who will eventually age out. It's only a matter
Actually,
of time.
our team has no dependency on Devin Booker right now whatsoever,
Absolutely.
which means that you are not watching Suns basketball.
They are not.
They are not in the slightest in dependency on.
We
are dependent on Dylan Brooks, Grayson Allen, Colin Gillespie, and Mark Williams. Devin Booker might be our fourth best player on the team this year. Stop talking when you don't know what you're talking about.
Insane. You think if Devin Booker wasn't on the team, you guys would have a good chance at a playoff run?
He's having his worst season by far.
It's dog shit.
By far, actually.
And to be clear, you think that without him, you would have a good chance at a playoff run?
Doesn't matter. He's not playing well right now, and he's getting us to where we need to be set up, and hopefully he's the one that picks it up.
It doesn't matter. That's not the point. The point is about Devin Booker's innate value. Yes, the team is built around Devin Booker. He's the leader of the team. Clearly.
Yeah.
And our leader hasn't showed up, and we're still in the position we're in.
Let Gunnar go. Gunnar.
Like Retro, the Suns have been good when Devin Booker has been off the floor.
Sure.
No, it's not just a sure. It's
not a sure.
Pure fact.
Okay, no,
They're winning games without Booker.
You're not understanding my point. You can win games
as the
without
leader.
Booker.
I understand the leader
games without Booker.
Dylan Brooks is our leader.
There are two things. The first thing is Devin Booker is the leader. He is the franchise. He has been for years. You can't take that away from Devin Booker. The second thing is that even if he's not playing well, that doesn't mean he's not very vocal in the locker room. It doesn't mean he's still not the franchise guy. And it also doesn't mean that in the playoffs he won't be a massive...
No, I'm going to rebuttal it. Let him go.
I want to say something before you go, Justin. I just want to put this out here. Again, this was not to shit on Chicago. This was not to shit on Phoenix. This is not to shit on anybody's team. But I want to say this is the fact right now. When Chris Paul was on the team, whose team was it?
Well, hold on. So
I want you. Who was the leader there?
Okay, well, that's a hard question. I would say
it's not a hard question.
It's not.
No, hold on. I'm going to give you a clarifying answer. The
yes,
question
you go
is,
to a box score merchant
Justin,
answer.
No.
Please,
the question is so misleading. The answer, it depends on what you're talking about. Chris Paul was the most conducive to winning. That doesn't mean that Phoenix is just now owned by Chris Paul and he's the guy. Devin Booker is the guy. The same way Kevin Durant was the best player on those Warriors teams, but it was still Curry's team.
And the Suns.
So when KD was with Booker, you think Booker was still the guy there?
I think that Booker was the leader, the franchise guy, yes. I don't think Kevin Durant was the franchise guy, no. He wasn't the franchise guy. There's a difference. Just because you're the best player on a team doesn't mean that team belongs to you. Those are two different things.
So, Justin, this is the last thing before you go.
Whose team took all the words out of my mouth?
Who was the person on the 2012 Heat? Was it LeBron James or was it Dwayne Wade?
I gotta go.
Who was the person on the team?
Who was the leader on the team?
In that instance, LeBron. But that's a different instance.
That is not a different instance.
Oh, 2010 to whenever LeBron left, LeBron came and stuck his flag as mayor of Wade County. What are we talking about right now? Retro, just because you want to be delusional, if you're going to be on the podcast, at least come with facts and knowledge.
Just to clarify, you are comparing Dylan Brooks and Devin Booker to LeBron James. I just want to be clear. That's the comparison you're making.
We're not, you're not going off of name now. You're going by situation, right?
So right,
exactly
you're comparing
You're
comparing the situation of Devin Booker,
Oh my God, Retro! Just listen to me for a second. The only thing that's different is LeBron was the better player coming into Wade's team and taking over. Chris Paul was never better than Devin Booker coming into the Phoenix Suns, but he was more conducive to winning, which makes him our most valuable player at the time.
It also doesn't make him
Brooks right now is our most valuable player to winning. right
It
now.
doesn't
Yes,
make
it
you
does.
your
That is
franchise
literally
guy.
the whole argument right now.
No, that doesn't make
Retro,
you your franchise
You
guy.
just said the Suns can't do anything without Devin Booker, and they are continuously proving you wrong. End of. I'm done.
Wait
I'm done
until
with
the
it.
playoffs.
You're not
Wait
watching it. You're literally not even watching
until the
basketball at this
playoffs.
point.
Wait until the
That's just
playoffs.
what it is.
And
Wait until the playoffs.
I would
That's
say
what
the locker room leader has either been Dylan Brooks or Grayson Allen this year.
Again, wait until the playoffs. If
Yeah, wait where you won't be. Wait till the playoffs where you won't be, just like normal.
If definitively you think that Devin Booker is not your franchise guy, you are
I
insane.
never said he wasn't the franchise guy. I said who our most valuable player right now is.
That is what I was arguing the whole time. A franchise player.
No, you just said that we couldn't go anywhere without Devin Booker, and you're continuously just wrong, like normal.
So to be clear, as per usual, I am correct on this. I said it is about the franchise guy on the team. I said, whose team is it? It is Devin Booker's team. I never made the argument about who was most conducive to winning because I agreed that Chris Paul was more conducive to winning than Devin Booker. I just said it wasn't his team.
But you're saying
the argument
because our franchise player is now playing bad to start the year, that with the most valuable player to our team, Dylan Brooks, and our most inconducive players to winning being Dylan Brooks, Grayson Allen, Colin Gillespie, you're telling me that if Booker picks it up and Booker actually does what Booker can do, that this team won't be better than they already are, is what you're telling me.
No, I would never say that. I'd never make that take.
Booker is playing the worst season he's had in the NBA. And
sure.
They're winning games.
Yes, I never denied that.
Actually, as of right now, our team is winning in spite of our franchise player.
So to be clear, you're making an argument I didn't make. My argument was, if you take Devin Booker off this team entirely, yes, the team would be worse because Devin Booker is the franchise guy. He is the person that the franchise revolves around. You snatch the franchise player off that team, yes, they will be worse. It doesn't matter what they are right now. It's still early anyway.
One more, well, it's not early. It's halfway through the year. One more clarifying thing. Hold on. One more clarifying thing. Because it's funny enough, Gunnar, because we talked about this on yours, right?
Yeah.
Nikola Jokic and the Denver Nuggets, right? Jokic is off because he's hurt. And the Denver Nuggets are, I believe, a little bit over 500 since he's been left. And all of the players on that team had their PRAs skyrocketed, and they're still winning games without the best player in the world.
Yes, to make up for the fact that they don't have the best player in the world on the court. Yes, of course.
Absolutely. So this is more the thing of where, like, I understand both sides of the argument. I understand where you're coming from. Franchise guy, he was drafted there, all that kind of stuff. But when these are the kind of like the weird conversations that we start having in today's NBA, why it's become such a saturated league, is because I'll give you another example. Victor Wembanyama, right? We all know that he got hurt. He's on your fantasy team, right? In our league. Shout out to Gunnar, our commissioner. But when Victor Wembanyama was down, what was the record of San Antonio without Victor Wembanyama?
I'm not sure.
It's 7-4 or 8-4 or something like that. So comparatively, a lot of the disingenuous arguments. I'm not saying that you are saying this, but how valuable is your real best player if they still have a winning record without you? You know what I mean?
See, but this is my problem with the whole argument, and this is my issue. Let's take Jokic off the Nuggets. Do you think they make a deep playoff run?
With this roster, yes.
Okay, my answer is immediately no, they won't, because they don't have Jokic. Do you think the Spurs make a deep playoff run without Wemby, even though they have a winning record without him on the court?
With this team, no. And that's because of roster construction.
Right, but my point is this. If you take the franchise guy off of a roster, yes, they are going to be worse. Even if the franchise guy isn't as conducive to winning as some of the other guys. Even if when he's off the court, the team is still winning. That does not matter. Off the court, the Thunder have a better record, or the Thunder have a good record. They have a winning record when Shea is off the court. Does that mean that the Thunder could make a deep run without Shea? I don't think so. I think that they would have problems without having Shea, who is a top 2 player in the world. My point is this. franchise players matter. I don't care if they're doing good or bad. And you making the argument that your team is able to do really well without Devin Booker is insane, because if you snatch him off the roster, they will fail.
It's where
a completely
this
different
terms
argument, though.
yeah
Talking
this
about
is
OKC
Justin,
who's
please
the most
hold on.
conducive to winning.
When it comes to saturation of talent, this is where this is a legitimate argument, is that these teams are so like in depth now that we're seeing Peyton Watson average like 22, 7 and 5 without a Jokic, and people are saying that Jokic is holding this team back because of what we're seeing PRA wise. In retro, again, you didn't say this. I'm saying other people that I've been involved with has said that, and that sounds absolutely absurd, right?
Sure. Yes.
It's the best player in the fucking world. Like,
right.
Right. So in terms of valuability, that's where it's like this argument becomes so skewed when in terms of real valuability, because people will immediately go to what's their record without them, go look at the role players who are now significantly taking the jump up. This is the exact argument when we go back to it with Edom, Tatum, and Brown, because you're obviously Team Brown. Go look at his numbers when Tatum's off the floor. Cool. Now go look at Murray's numbers when Jokic is off the floor. It skyrockets, right? This is the conversations where it's like, this is kind of nasty, and I understand where this is going. I wanted to put that out there because it's actually a good conversation regardless of where we go with it. I just didn't want this to turn into a screaming match, so we'll end it there.
That's the thing I don't understand about this. You guys are bringing it to a point. I have a question about what we're talking about. You're bringing it to a conducive point of Jokic or Shea off of the team. You're talking about the guys who are their leading scorers and they're most conducive to winning. Also this season, Booker is not the leading scorer and is not the most conducive to winning this season. That's my issue with this whole argument.
We're talking about
yes, Metro, I agree that the chemistry and the culture and the this and the that would change if Devin Booker wasn't on the team. But at the end of the day, putting the ball in the hoop, we are 13 guys deep that do the job.
But do you know what you would be much worse at if you didn't have Devin Booker? Putting the ball in the hoop. Because that culture stuff you just said really, 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 really matters.
Well, good. Then even if he sat on the bench, guess what? He's still one of the worst guards right now at putting the ball through the hoop on our team.
And that's fine, but if you take him off that roster, you guys would be cooked because of the culture. That is the biggest thing I'm trying to say. You can take a franchise guy and you can say that he's not playing well. He's still your franchise guy and you need him. You do.
Great. So if he picks, great. So we're in the spot where people already think that we're one of the most dangerous teams to play in a 7-game series. If Devin Booker picks it up, then we are the most dangerous game to play in a 7-game series.
Well, I still wouldn't say that because the Spurs, Thunder, and Nuggets exist. But I'd say you're one of them.
Coming from a Spurs fan saying that he doesn't want to play us in a 7-game series is insane.
Sure, but I would just disagree. But
just looked it up just so we can get a decisive end to this fucking conversation. I didn't mean for this to turn like that.
No, it's fine.
Suns record without Devin Booker, 1-3. Suns record without Dylan Brooks this season, 3-3. Small sample size, but that's what it is.
That's why that irrelevant point. Like that's why.
My issue with it was I thought we were talking leadership wise.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I would say being the locker room presence is Dylan Brooks or Grayson Allen.
Correct. That's They're the leaders. Booker is the franchise player. It's a different argument.
Dylan Brooks reminds me more of a Pat Bev presence anyway. I think that Devin Booker is definitively... Devin Booker's going to be the guy that people look to. That's what it comes down to. When it comes down to a game where it means something, like a playoff game, they're going to look to Devin Booker. That's going to be and that's what matters the most.
They haven't looked to him, no offense, Justin, they haven't looked to him in years.
I disagree with that. But.
They haven't looked to him in years. It was... I don't
every year.
Like I said, watch somebody other than your own team. First it was Chris Paul, then it was KD. Like I don't understand.
No,
It's been his team, but he's been playing second fiddle to other guys for at least 6 years.
No. This is such a weird. Okay, don't say yes, they have been looking to Devin Booker. Even if Devin Booker hasn't performed to the level of what you want him to do, yes, they've been looking to Devin Booker. Of course, they will look into Devin Booker until the day that he is retired and leaves the NBA, because Devin Booker is the guy. Even if you want to say he's outperformed by Chris Paul or outperformed by Kevin Durant, he is the franchise guy. Justin, you yourself have said this, that Devin Booker basically is the city of Phoenix. That is the point I'm trying to make.
That is correct.
And they will continue to look to him. Don't make the claim that I don't watch other teams. I understand the Phoenix Suns. I understand who Devin Booker is. Devin Booker is the city. Yes, they are looking to him, and they will continue to look to him until the day he retires. So to say they're not looking to him is just not true. If you want to say he was outperformed, that's fine. I can grant you that. He was outperformed by 2 Hall of Famers that will go down as some of the greatest of all time at their respective positions, and that's true. But Devin Booker is still being looked to. There's no doubt about that.
Hey Justin, do you have games? Do you play games now?
Yeah, let's play games.
I'm just ready to actually crash out. That's the crazy part.
Let's play games.
You have games on your phone?
Yeah, let's play games.
You play Clash of Clans.
If I can get Justin to smile, that means I know I've
I'm
won.
not smiling. I yawned. I'm just so frustrated.
Anyway, Justin, do you play Clash of Clans?
Yeah,
No.
play Clash of Clans.
I'm not a weeb. Sorry. All right, so Jules, you did this alone last week. So for the first one, we have a top 10 list.
Okay.
And the top 10 list we're going forward on right now, and please, there's 3 of you. Don't just all throw names at me and go crazy. The first one up is NCAA representation in the NBA.
Oh.
Top 10, so it's the top 10 colleges with the most players in the NBA. Let's see if you guys can rattle this list. But what we're going to do here is we're going to do it in a certain way. We're going to go Jules, Retro, Gunner in that order. If you say a wrong school, you are out.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
I know you're kind of getting the shit under the stick on this because they're going to basically have 2 layups to start, but
Kentucky.
Number 1 with, I believe, 29 representatives.
And Duke.
I believe they have 23.
Okay. Let's go with Marquette.
Marquette is not represented here.
All right.
That's tough.
Jules.
North Carolina.
North Carolina is not represented here.
What?
I would have picked North Carolina. Okay. Kansas.
Jules, when I did this list, I was shocked, and this list came strictly off of the NBA.com website. Like that's why I was severely shocked.
There's no way.
Is Kansas on there?
Kansas is on here at number 7. Retro, let's see how long you can go here.
Okay, all right. I need to think.
This fucking sucks.
Okay, Blue Bloods.
Retro can get it wrong, and you're both back in. So these are my
specific team I'm thinking of, and I know it's not them.
I already have 2 schools off the top of my head, and I'm so pissed I said.
Yeah, a lot of these schools are actually just like gimmies for me, and I don't even barely watch
college with this school earlier.
5 seconds.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Louisville.
Not on the list. Back to Jules.
Shouldn't it be Gunner? Or are we just gonna go in the opposite way now?
We're just gonna reset.
Okay, reset. UCLA.
UCLA at number 3.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Villanova.
Villanova not on the list.
Wow.
Gonzaga?
Gonzaga at number 5.
Nice. Okay.
Arizona.
Arizona at number 4.
Oh no, this is bad. Oh, I was gonna pick Arizona. Oh boy.
6, 8, 9, and 10 left.
Florida.
Not on here. Jules, you have the ISO.
That team up north.
Michigan at number 9.
What?
Yeah, yeah.
They've been getting a lot of NBA talent recently.
Yeah,
Um,
they have.
6, 8, and 10 left.
I'll guess the other LA school, USC.
USC at number 8.
Yo, that's crazy.
I want to say this is a shot in the dark because I only know one guy from here. Texas.
Texas at number 10. They have 10 guys
Yo,
represented in the
Jules,
NBA.
what?
Texas was my next one, other than
All right,
Yeah,
the
because I
number-
only know KD.
Jules, can you finish it? The number 6 spot. Well, Chris Middleton also played at Texas.
Oh, did he? I did not know
Yep.
that.
The number 6 school, looking for one school here.
Fuck, I don't know.
I have one idea.
Once you throw a shot out there, I'm gonna throw a hint out there, and then it's gonna be buzzer style for the last school. I just want to be sure that I'm correct on this, and I'm pretty sure I am.
I want because it's like Big 12 has some like decent schools, but I don't know colleges like that. Like, I'm gonna say Oklahoma.
Not Oklahoma.
That would have been a crazy shot in the dark.
I don't know.
I
I have two teams in my head right now, but
I
I
just
don't know
want to
if
make sure I have the correct.
I've got a thought, but I only
Okay,
know
they
one
are
guy
there.
from
All right.
here.
So, this is an SEC school.
Oh, never
I
mind.
don't know my
dang.
conferences.
Okay, I have an idea
Fuck.
then. I have an idea.
No, then buzz in.
Okay, I'll buzz in. Is it LSU?
It is not LSU.
Can I look up
Retro's out.
what colleges are in the SEC? Because I have no clue. I don't know the I don't follow NCAA like that.
Well, all right, so we'll just put Gunner out. Jules, you have a guess. If you don't get it, I'll just tell you guys.
Oh.
It's an FCC school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is. I give up. I don't know.
I think I know.
I think I might know.
I give up.
All right, both of you say it at the same time.
Okay. I'll do 3, 2, 1.
Ole
Tennessee.
Miss.
Neither. It's Arkansas.
Oh,
Arkansas. That's crazy.
That's fucking gross. Arkansas
Yeah,
producing talent like that. Fuck.
If I remember correctly
From
from the list I
Arkansas.
looked at earlier, it was Kentucky's at 30, Duke is at 27, UCLA was at 23, Arizona was at 19, and then it goes down the list, down the list, down the list. Texas had 10.
Huh.
So, yeah,
Wow.
weird. Like I said,
Arkansas,
when I saw North Carolina wasn't on this list, I'm like, damn, since Roy left, they really have been ass.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I thought that was a shoe-in because I know Harrison Barnes has been there, but I guess that's
Dude,
the only relevant player out of
no, I
UNC.
mean, North Carolina just got blown out by unranked University of California.
Correct. Since Roy hasn't been there contributing to the
known
scouting,
this.
they've been ass.
That's
All
unfortunate.
right, back to the regularly scheduled programming. Pick 3, cut 5.
Here we go.
Oh God.
Non-lottery
Smash my head.
picks.
Non-lottery picks.
Non-lottery picks.
Fuck. Okay.
The first man up is Jalen Brunson.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, I know where I want to go with that.
Is this clarifying question? Is this just current or is this all time?
I guess we'll find out.
Jules, that means it's all time, almost 100%.
I'll lean cut.
Eileen cut here.
Yeah, I
too.
also lean cut. That's yeah.
If anybody wants to know the answer to this question. Next up, Manu Ginobili.
Dog, you caught me at a wrong time with this Manu conversation. Fuck Manu.
I want
Dude,
to lean cut so much.
I'm cutting Manu. I'm cutting Manu,
Wait,
dog.
Jules,
I
why
don't care.
you like Manu? What?
Just a like quick thing summary. The basketball people ruined Manu Ginobili for me. That's all I'm gonna say. Fuck Manu.
Oh, well, okay. I mean, I'm okay.
I want to
to
cut this man
That's
so
fine.
hard.
Kobe Bean Bryant.
That's a
Keep.
Yeah.
We're all
Fuck
keeping.
Kobe though.
Yeah, you're talking
That's
about
crazy.
a key. He's just outside the top 10. Look at him.
Mm.
Real goat.
I modeled my
Kawhi
game
Leonard.
after him.
Oh.
That's a keep.
Well,
Fuck you, Retro.
I'm just listen. You got Jokic exists. Shaq came out of high school. Jokic and Shaq.
Shaq did not come out of high school. He's the first overall pick.
Oh, wait, no, he came out of LSU. My fault. No, my fault.
Yeah,
I'm stupid.
fucking dumbass.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking of somebody else. I forgot.
Gunnar, applications are free, by the way.
Wait, real quick. Giannis was a non-lottery, right?
Yes.
So Jokic and Giannis, are they not both better than Kawhi?
Not moved.
Not moved by a dunk merchant. Not moved by a fat Serbian.
Just say you want Kawhi because he's your guy, bro.
And our
Kawhi
podcast
is my guy.
is in Serbia.
Okay, we can keep.
I'm a Kawhi. I will.
But I want to point out that
I will be objective, Retro, because you're basically still red in the face from your argument. I will cut him for you. How nice am I?
Fuck you, I'm keeping that man.
No, I'm okay keeping Kawhi. It's just if we get Jokic and Giannis, it's unfortunate. But Justin wouldn't do that to us because he's a nice guy that's never screwed us.
Dog, look at that shit-eating grin that he has. Of course, both of them are in there, bro. I will for my dignity, Kawhi Leonard, you're my fucking GOAT. I love you. Top 10 player in the world right now. I will cut you. Oh, yes, he is. Trust me.
Gunnar, what's your verdict here?
Gunner's keeping. He was firm on that.
Keep. I'm keeping the fuck out of that man.
I hope Retro keeps and Jules looks like the Kawhi hater.
No. I listen. In the spirit of Jules allowed it to happen. We'll cut him. But if Jokic and Giannis on here,
Draymond Green.
Yeah.
Cut.
Ultimate litmus test. Love Draymond. Sorry, but
I don't.
I love Draymond too.
You know who doesn't love Draymond Green? Steven Adams doesn't love him.
Why'd we cut that man? That's
Dennis Rodman.
Oh.
Fuck you, Retro.
Wait, it wasn't me. Jules said cut. If I would have kept.
You have 2 keeps with Rodman plus 2 names to hear.
Yeah, but what if the last 2 names are Jokic and Giannis?
Gonna be all-time shitters, bro.
Are we gonna have to keep Rodman even though we cut Kawhi?
I love my job.
Justin, I want to throat punch you so fucking hard it's not even funny.
I'll lift my chin for you. Here you go.
Fuck
Yo.
We're cutting Rodman. I'm not keeping that rebound Rodman. Merchant.
Okay. But for the record, Dennis, I do love you. Thank you.
No, you
I
don't.
appreciate
Got
it.
it.
God bless
So, you cut Brunson, cut Manu, cut Kawhi, cut Draymond, cut Rodman to keep Kobe Bryant, Giannis Antetokounmpo,
Heard,
and Nikola Jokic.
Bang. Bang.
Yeah,
rare retro W.
Let's go.
The most rare. Buy a lottery ticket.
You had me on skates for a
Buy a
minute.
lottery ticket. Go back to singing on
Retro
TikTok.
W. Another one in the books, boys.
Go back
Retro,
to singing
you
on
have to
TikTok.
fuck that shit up.
All right,
Is
the
there...
last one.
Yeah. Yes.
This is going to be the nasty narrative game of the week.
No.
Great.
Overrated players from the last 20 years.
Oh
boy.
Okay.
Oh boy. We ain't gonna do this shit for a fucking living.
Day, baby. Every single fucking day.
First
Literally.
name up, Ben Simmons.
No, he's not overrated, bro. What?
See, No, it's a decent argument because, like, Retro, I want to run you, like, he was getting conversations as, like, the best defender in the league at his peak, which I think is perfectly
Do
fine.
you remember? Hold on. Do you remember the hype coming out of LSU of all things?
No, and that's what I was going to lean into as well.
Oh,
Is that
it's
right in the Colin
It
Kaepernick?
was
Like,
deserving, though.
there's no, Gunnar, I agree. There's deserving stuff, but there you can make a good argument for being overrated. I would cut because there's definitely more overrated players. It's
Shout out
a
Colin
good
Kaepernick.
conversation.
Listen,
Justin,
LeBron,
that's a good one. That's a good one.
Thank you.
LeBron, we don't need you. It's okay. Ben
The
Simmons-
next one's
fucking
just as good.
Okay.
Said his name once already today. Draymond Green.
Oh,
See-
yeah, that's a decent argument.
Gunnar, I know Gunnar loves Draymond. He's the Draymond defender.
We're talking about triple single.
I think he's underrated in terms of value.
I do
I don't
too.
know. Like he gets overrated a little bit because of
It's not a lot, though.
so it's not by a lot, right? I would still cut
This list
him.
is going to be so
I
much
think
fun.
he is excellent at setting screens and kicking people in the nuts, and that's
Oh my
two
God.
things he's really
Oh
good
my
at.
god!
But-
Like I said, litmus test for
How do
basketball.
I pick
is Draymond
someone
Green.
from this?
Literally. See,
Are we keeping or cutting
No.
Draymond?
No, that's a cut.
I
Okay.
take that.
We're cutting the fuck out of that. Come on.
Unfortunate he's on this list because of what happened tonight. Jimmy Butler.
Oh, yeah, baby.
So even I don't think it really matters what I say because it seems like Jules and Gunnar have their minds made up. on this tonight.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yo, Jimmy, I just want to
We're
say,
keeping Jimmy.
I just want to say, Jimmy Butler. I agree with him. I hate what you did to Chicago. I hope your legacy burns.
This list, I'll tell you when I made this list, this is me pushing narratives and you guys getting to react at the same time, potentially
Oh, yeah.
agree.
Oh no, I like that narrative. Jimmy Butler can.
The next
That
one's
man's
also fun.
overrated as
Well,
fuck.
before we go, Justin, thank you for pushing that button for me. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You're welcome. This one's going to push another button. Russell Westbrook.
Oh, keep that man. Keep that man,
Okay,
baby.
okay. Hold on. I know we're all at half chub right now, but I want let's get this into reality, right? There's other names there, right?
That's
there's
true.
Melo,
That is true.
There's Kyrie, right? There's
Kobe?
Kobe.
However, Jules, pushing
I
that
know-
man in
I
top
know-
5 point guard combos.
I know. I'm looking at Justin's facial expressions. And I know how this-
we're 4 names into this, and I think I've cooked.
There's Shea.
No, fuck off, Retro. Fuck off.
You know
There's-
what? You're right,
Tatum.
Jules. Hold on.
There's Jason
Oh.
Tatum in there.
Oh my god.
Don't
I-
you dare.
Are we keeping
I-
or cutting Russell Westbrook?
This
Remember,
is such a.
remember, this list is my opinion, and I fully believe that all of these players are overrated.
And that's okay. That's fair.
I'm trying to think of the arguments.
I want to say this is the hardest cut in American history.
I think
It is a
you're,
hard-
I think you're
Gunner,
kinda right.
Retro, any
I'm-
thoughts there?
Hard
Give
cut.
me a second.
There's
I'm
just
so
more
excited.
names, Doug.
There is, and
thing
I
is,
can
Gunner,
agree with that.
Kyrie is such an instant keep because of the whole narrative around him, and then
That's true.
Kobe
You
is
know what?
another
Cut
one
cut the
that's like-
fuck out of.
All right. Well, so you've heard 4 names. You have 2 keeps left. 4 names to go. I'm so sorry to somebody on here mentioned a certain other guy we mention on TikTok all the time today, but I'm wholeheartedly in this one. Rudy Gobert.
Cut.
Oh no. That's
You know what?
wait, Retro, hold on. Justin, let's have this fucking conversation. Why do you think that he's overrated?
Let's see here. 2 fraudulent defensive player of the years and in conversation for top 5 to top 10 defensive player all time.
Fair.
All
you're
arguments
talking
I've
this-
heard.
Okay,
Wait,
I
hold on. To be
understand
clear,
where
the
you're coming with
DPOYs
that.
are fair, and he is one of the best defensive players of all time. Yes.
I agree.
Yeah,
That's a cut. I'm sorry.
that's a cut.
I actually think he's almost become underrated because of how much hate he's gotten.
Shut
I
the
think
fuck
so
up.
too.
That's fine. Jules, your yes button is about to get hit off the charts right now.
Am I
Trey
gonna
Young.
hear?
Oh yes, I
That's a
will.
keep.
I will
That's a
mouth
fucking
fuck this
keep.
mic so hard. Absolutely,
Stop.
absolutely
Wait,
overrated as fuck.
You
Hold
know what?
on.
I'll piss off Jules even more. He's
Oh,
underrated.
Jules,
Cut him.
hold up.
Cut.
Hold up.
He
Gunner's
Wait, I
trying
have
to
to
look
choose this?
Okay,
Wait.
Gunner. He is not more
I'm with you
overrated
then.
than Russell Westbrook, but in terms of the list of where we have so far,
I agree.
Kyrie Kobe.
Neither
Kobe's
one are
not
on this
over-
list, Retro.
What? Why did you
Kobe's
say
not-
that like 4 names ago?
I don't have to. I can do what I want. This is my show.
My whole thing, like,
You know
I
how
agree with
nasty
you
that
on
is,
trade,
because
Jules.
we would have kept Russell Westbrook.
That's not
Gunner,
my
go
problem.
I just would have, like, trade for sure is overrated. I hear that shit from Glore on a daily basis.
He's underrated. He's a really good facilitator.
No,
He'll
you
be
know
a
what?
really good
Just
player
for
in the
you,
Wizards.
for that Retro, I'm keeping the fucker.
He'll be
Got
a
it.
really good. He'll be a really good player on the Wizards, and he's gonna.
All right,
really,
so you have 2 names left, 1 keep, 1 cut.
Okay.
Jules is about to make this absolutely diabolical for both of you because there are 2 names to hear, and I put this guy first intentionally.
Manu better be on here.
Carmelo Anthony.
Oh.
That's a kept
Yo,
him.
I almost think that's an insta keep. I don't know, bro.
Should've
Jules
kept
is about
Love.
to play a very dangerous game.
see, okay,
Jules hit his button on Jimmy Butler. Now the button's in the basement.
it's fucking broken at this point.
Jules, what if Stockton is available here potentially?
Well, okay.
No, 20 years. 20 years.
Well,
No,
20 years.
Yeah, you're right.
We just missed the cutoff of Sir Mormon the third.
You're right.
Sir Mormon the third.
The only thing, like, I know I've been on the phone with Justin about this certain other guy before and have literally made the arguments through him through live telephone call.
Boom.
The other name that I think is the last
Boom.
guy. So,
Boom.
I want to, now it's America's toughest cut of all time with Carmelo Anthony. It is now America's toughest cut. Because I am banking on this certain fucking Dallas Maverick that is the last name on the list, and I want it to be him.
I disagree with you wholeheartedly. I am keeping, and that certain Maverick, if it starts with a D and ends with an N, absolutely not.
No, it would be the guy who is better than Steph Curry because he beat him in the finals. That's the guy that I'm thinking about.
Didn't he already say he's not on it?
Oh wait, no. He already said. Justin already said. Kyrie Kobe not on here.
But is he playing us?
Bro. You know how nasty that would be?
Playing us. Oh, fuck me. Why am I put in this position?
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think you guys know who I have at the last player.
What if it's Allen Iverson?
I'm okay keeping Melo and just...
Wait. Because I'm the only fucking Braun fan on here.
There are plenty of people that could be on this list.
I know.
For the sake of not turning this into that in the comment section, he's not on the list, Jules.
Okay.
All 4 comments that we might get, it's not on the list.
Hopefully 4. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. You think somebody's more overrated than fucking Melo? Have we talked about him before?
Here's the thing. I like the guy. Severely overrated. And there's arguments to put him over it because he has highlight moments that are still lowlights in a pretty okay career.
Jules, do you jog? Do you think Jaw is extremely overrated?
No,
I feel like a lot of people view Jaw as like a pretty.
I don't think you're gonna, Jules. You're not figuring it out.
Because
I mean, Jaw
No,
has a
We
bunch
have,
of.
here's the thing. We have talked about this person before. I will say that.
and that's where I was going with it, is that because if we've talked about him before, me bringing up our conversation, then there has to be something that I'm
But
totally fucking
more
forgetting.
Than Melo, though? More than Melo, though? Like, Melo
Ye-
is.
Because I feel like I fucking know it, and I'm just forgetting the name.
This is my list, and I wanted to keep going. I wanted to keep going on this, and I can keep going all day long on this.
I will say, I want to cut, and I want to keep this last player.
Gunnar, it's in your hands. I'm saying keep. It's in your hands.
It's 50. Yeah, it's up to you, Gunnar.
If I lose, I lose. It's fair. I would get majority voted.
Oh, you know what? I'm not known as a gambling man. Let's fucking gamble. We're cutting
Melo?
Fuck.
Okay.
All right.
I'm so
cut Ben Simmons, cut Draymond Green, cut Russell Westbrook, cut Rudy Gobert to keep Jimmy Butler, Trae Young, and Tracy McGrady.
You know what? I'm fine with that, but I'm fine
okay.
because I think he's overrated.
Melo's more overrated, to be honest with you.
I think Melo is too.
Can we just talk about what a list?
That is a good.
It was very good.
I would say I'm not mad at that, but why I would keep T-Mac is because that motherfucker with the summer of Kobe, he put his foot on the I would have won with Shaq stuff. I'm in agreement with one. I don't think he would win all that shit with in Kobe's shoes, but him going on TikTok fucking live at like middle of the afternoon with some dumbass who I don't even want to give the name to, saying that he's specifically
that's over.
Him saying Kobe's the GOAT and that he would do all this kind of shit. T-Mac, I used to respect your shit, not anymore.
I'm now going to give you 3 names that were honorable mention that would have made this list way easier. Blake Griffin.
Cut.
Okay. I can see the argument.
Paul Pierce.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And by the way,
even though the injury derailed the career, I'm still putting him in the category. Paul George.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you said Paul George. I thought you were going another direction with that.
Oh, I could have easily went Embiid. I could have went. You guys can make tier lists and you guys can make top 10 lists. I promise you, I can come up with 100 players that are overrated.
No, when you said injury, career derailed by injury, I thought you were going with another Eastern Conference guard, and I was a little bit worried for a second.
Which one?
John Wall.
I'm not saying Derrick Rose ever in my life.
That's what I thought you were talking
Derrick
about.
Rose is perfectly
Too bad
rated.
he's overrated as fuck.
No,
Derrick Rose is perfectly rated.
No,
overrated as fuck.
Wait a minute, Derrick Rose is the GOAT. You watch your mouth.
No,
that's my key. Don't you talk about Derrick
Rose? Retro. You just went against the guy who won 6 championships.
Derrick Rose is the second. Derrick Rose is the second greatest Bull of all time.
I agree with that.
Behind Scottie Pippen.
Speaking of the first greatest Bull of all time, our history fact of the day, January 19th at the start of this recording, so I'm going off of that because it pertains. January 19th, 2000, Michael Jordan purchases part ownership and becomes president of basketball operations for the Washington Wizards.
What an awful decision that was.
Greatest decision in his career.
Because you're an elite player does not make you an elite operator.
Feels like it's the opposite almost every
Cam
time.
Newton could still run a front office better than half of these jamokes.
Which, by the way, the people
because
on
Cam
TikTok
Newton does evaluate talent on 4th and 1, and he calls them as he sees them.
To the people
and he doesn't
on TikTok,
care which one of his friends he pisses off.
See, this is what I was going to say. The people on TikTok who unironically make the statement that you can't talk ball unless you're like a pro or something and that players know more than you, this right here is direct proof they don't. Because as soon as you put
Retro, where did you play college ball?
Yeah, no, that literally, it's like, no.
Are you not the savior of Lemoyne?
Oh, dude, that's a good point. The savior of Lemoyne would be one of the best executives in the league, I think. But, no, yeah.
I'm not going to lie, when I made the list, I almost put him at number 1 just for funsies and was going to put 8 names after him.
W.
Didn't Kai and Anthony, did Carmelo's son say that like Paul George is his GOAT? Like I don't know, bro. Like it's
Brandon Miller.
Kai and Anthony knows ball.
He said that.
Brandon Roy said that. Yeah. That's it. But Paul George might. See,
That was. I'm
overrated.
not gonna lie. That was almost a. That was almost one of the categories this week for pick 3, cut 5. It was going to be career derailing injuries. Because we did we did tragic injuries, but I was going to do like greatness derailing injuries, like Brandon Roy, Derrick Rose, even Paul George could get thrown into that, like stuff like that.
Oladipo, Victor Oladipo.
He wouldn't have been great. He would have been good.
I think he would have been great.
His ceiling would have been Donovan Mitchell in Utah.
I disagree. I think he was on like all-time Pacers trajectory if he would have stayed healthy.
It's a pretty low bar.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tyrese is already in that category because Reggie's the most overrated player of all time. He also could have made this list.
Not the most overrated player. The most overrated player.
He might be the most overrated player of all time.
The most overrated player of all time is Kobe or LeBron, and it depends.
No, it's not.
That's not true. It's actually Kyrie Irving.
It's Reggie.
Kyrie and Reggie are 1A, 1B. No one touches.
Kyrie's fine. Kobe and LeBron are my top 2.
Well, you can put Kobe there, but you know Kobe leaving the Lakers and they looked like shit. I mean, he must have been the franchise piece.
I just don't know how
he
LeBron
must have been
is
like the answer to winning. So like I don't know.
Yes, you do, bro.
I just don't know how LeBron is overrated. Like,
no, because Jules, you rate him off of metrics, which is fine. You're fair. You're a fair evaluator. You know how their fan base is. The LeBron sexuals are a different type of human being. That is
all
how
I know is if you measure LeBron to Jordan in the first 15 years of their career, that's where you find out who the GOAT is.
Dude, my thing is, bro, you have Clutch pushing all of this like propaganda, LeBron propaganda through the media airwaves. You have LeBron's fans that are constantly riding him. Like you can't get away from LeBron. He's about to make the All-Star game. Like I don't know, bro. The propaganda never stops LeBron.
I'm just saying, Rich Paul came out and said that if a Clutch player makes the All-Star game, he'd much rather him make it legitimately than through fan voting. So
and that's great because 95% of the league is over Rich Paul and all his bullshit, so nobody cares.
Also for the safety of the podcast, Rich Paul, please, if you happen to see this, do not send your trucks after me. I was just joking; it is all a meme. And God bless Clutch Entertainment.
Rich Paul, send your trucks after me because my family could use that money, bro. Come on, bring it.
LOL. Now, W podcast, 2 hours long. Shout out to the longest episode for basketball. Hopefully, we've turned down a little bit. We'll get the same kind of attitude.
You're still wrong.
We'll get the same attitude tomorrow when we talk about the divisional, and have some accountability issues for certain players. Gunnar, I really do thank you for coming up. Always great having you. Please to go support him and his YouTube channel. Go watch him. I'm occasionally as a guest to go and talk some Celtics and some all-time stuff. This was We Don't Know Ball with Retro, the third co-host, possibly fourth, depending on how Gunnar likes to use his application.
We'll submit the application in a month. Just
this was We Don't Know Ball. Again, for the 4 comments that will probably be in our comment section. Tell us how you guys like our yap sessions. If we agree, disagree, if we don't know ball, if we do know ball, follow us on
Let us know if
TikTok.
Justin does not know ball.
But at the end of the day, it's all just a couple guys just trying to talk sports with each other. For the love of the game. This was We Don't Know Ball. We'll see you guys next week.
DJ Moore sold the Bears.
Peace.